I want to come on here today and I want to give some love to black farmers who I don't think get enough, right? I can appreciate that they are not on the internet spazzing out and crashing out. You want to know why? It's because whatever is going on in the current climate when it comes to farming, they're not new to this because they have faced adversity, not being given what they need in order to be successful, not unlike their white counterparts, right? Because they have been spoon fed everything they've needed in order for them to be successful. And now that that privilege and entitlement is gone because of who they voted for, they on the internet trying to garner some favor and some sympathy. Meanwhile, black farmers chilling. They cool as cucumbers because guess why? They know how to handle themselves and their farms during times of crisis. I guess favor ain't fair after all, huh?
We have to protect our black farmers, and more of us need to become farmers because, man, price of food will continue to rise. We already have food shortage and food insecurity to continue with in the black communities. So it's time for black folks to get focused and get involved. Black farmers have played a critical role in the agricultural development of the United States, contributing a significant to the economy, culture, and agriculture industry. The reason why I'm saying this is because across America, farms are going silent. Workers stop showing up, and crops are dying in the fields. Farmers are panicking. Farmers, they are furious. But one group isn't breaking down. One group isn't running to blame others. That is none other than black farmers. They are focused. They are rising. They know this moment is bigger for them.
When it comes to the white farmers who are losing all of their workers and are about to lose their farms, I say that's the way it was always meant to be. You were never meant to employ all of these people for little to nothing when it comes to your ancestors and be able to make a profit off of it. It was never meant to be the cool, rad thing that your family does for generations to make money. It was never honest work. It was never honorable. It was always tainted. It always involved holding people against their will to squeeze every single dime you could out of them, whether by force or by threat. It was always about that. And it was never right for this country to make that their foundation and their road to wealth. And so now that it's crumbling, we are returning to the original form of what things should have been. So there you go. I get that they work hard and some of these farms have been passed down from generation to generation. Well, for generation after generation, we've had all of the stuff that you have piled onto us passed down each and every time. I don't want anyone to suffer out here. I don't want anyone to be on the streets or lose their possessions or anything. And I don't want anyone to be exploited for their work either. I don't want anyone building off of the backs of people they deem less than human. So if you're already doing that and you lose the things that you've gained, if you're finally reaping what you sow, so be it.
Yo, there's a black farmer on here named John Boyd, and he was on the Don Lemon show, and he was telling his story. Said that he's been farming for over 42 years in America, and he's reaching out to these institutions for financial help, and he's asking them for a loan, and they are denying him. Now, with all of us on TikTok, all of us, all of us, we're here, right? I say we help him. I'm not good at organizing, but I'm willing to donate. And if he doesn't want to take the money, maybe he could take it as a loan, and he could repay the people that loaned it to him some way. I don't know how it's going to work, guys, but we have to work it out for this black farmer, and we have to help more black farmers. Like, this app can do so much good if we use it the right way. We're all on it. We can gather, we could communicate, we could talk, we could make plans, but we have to help each other. And I think we should all help this black farmer get some funds. We should all put together, donate what we can, or lend what we can to this black farmer. That's it.
I've prepared some reasons why MAGA farmers are panicking because of lack of labor, okay? And I will show you why black folks or black farmers, they are not panicking. The reason number one is high reliance on large-scale hired labor. If we're talking about the hired labor, we've seen that MAGA farmers, or mostly farmers in the United States, based on labor. Okay, it means it is based on immigrants. These immigrants, mostly in the fruits and vegetables like farming industry, it means they rely on these people. These people are the one that go to pick those fruits. Immigrants, I'm talking about immigrants, because right now farming in the United States is facing a harsh reality of lack of laborers. Many large commercial farms depend heavily on large and often season high workforce. A sudden drop in labor, perhaps due to stricter immigration enforcement or changes in labor availability, directly threatens the ability to plant, cultivate, and harvest vast acreage of crops. So they depend highly on the labor. They hire people to do the work. They don't want to work in those farms. Okay, that is why some MAGA farmers might panic because of the situation that is happening right now, because the crops are gonna die in those farms because no one is there to pick those crops. Those immigrants, they never showed up. These farmers voted to deport them. They voted that they don't want immigrants, while they're the one that use immigrant. Till now, it's very hard to understand that point. You voted to deport your workers, why now you don't have workers to work in those firms? Really? They might have other plans of where they're going to get those workers. Maybe that's why they voted to deport the workers. But right now, their farms is facing such reality because they don't have people to work in those farms. They don't have people to come and help them. They always need those people, but they're not there.
Have you ever wondered why we rarely hear about black farmers here in America? It's not by mistake, but more by design. There's a lot more history to it than we know. So let's get into it. Here are 3 agriculture facts with Rancher Tory. Today's topic, black farmers in America. 1. In the 1900s, there were nearly 1 million black farmers here in America. Today, less than 50,000 remain. We went from owning acres and acres of farmland to barely making a guest list at the farmer's market. 2. Discrimination Acts from the USDA Loan Department prevents black farmers from having enough money to expand or even enough money to keep their land. That's like asking for help with a rake and they hand you one with no handle at all. 3. Black land loss is one of the highest raising statistics here in America. About 90% of black farmland owned today is gone. It's not just dirt disappearing. It's wealth, culture, and many traditions behind it. When we lose black farmers, I lose many of my roots and many untold traditions before me. And that alone is the reason why we should save the farm.
So I just saw this video of this white man who's not MAGA, by the way, or at least he says he's not, but because he damn sure selling the look. But he says he has a fake account over on Twitter, and he joined this group of white farmers, and he's pretending to be MAGA just to see what they're talking about. So apparently they had this group chat or group call where the white MAGA farmers were upset and saying the only reason why they voted for shitty britches was because they thought the blacks didn't have jobs and the blacks would come back and work their fields. They thought they were going to get slavery back by voting for shitty britches. But they have been saying loud and proud with their chest that immigrants were taking their jobs. Yet, there are a couple of farms here in Texas that overnight lost 100% of their workforce. But immigrants was taking their jobs, right? Racism is expensive, huh?
I'm going to say this to our community, and it's going to probably piss some of y'all off, but it's the realest shit I'm going to say. Our community is so built on gatekeeping to each other that is crazy. I have been trying to learn how to farm and things like that. I've been watching a lot of TikToks and things like that, but I've been trying to figure out how to fill out this USDA loan or the application so I can start the process of trying to get some funds to get my own farm and get my own land and stuff like that. And everybody is telling me to buy their ebooks or purchase their book that they have online, which tells you everything. $30, $40 books. Now, if we live in an economy where we can barely buy eggs, what makes you think that I can afford your book? Okay? I'm just asking for some help. So if there are any black farmers in the DMV area that are willing to help other black individuals, other content creators who are looking to get into farming and learn about farming and growing our own agriculture and things like that, that are willing to help for free, that will help build the community of the black farmers, please comment or send me in that direction, because I'm so sick of y'all. I get it. Money makes the world go around. Y'all got to make a living too. I get that. But the information that y'all are giving was free to you, is what I'm saying. Y'all learned this information for free, and now y'all charging everybody else to get it, which is crazy as fuck in this economy, especially the way the world is about to finna go for us. You would think that you would want to help wholeheartedly the black community grow in farming, but y'all just want to make a buck, which is crazy. I mean, I guess that's how America works. I mean, it is how America works. It works off of money, right? It works off the dollar. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? But y'all are holding the black community stagnant that wants to learn about farming.
So I just pulled up at the first day of the Black Farmers Market here in Lancaster, South Carolina. I'm about to get out of my car and let's see what this is all about.
Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to Green Intentions Farmers Market, where we uplift Black farmers and women farmers. This is establishing legacy for our community and for our people. We are in acknowledgement of Juneteenth, a celebration of Freedom's Day. And Freedom Day has a lot to do with economy, and we need to make sure we keep a circular economy in our community. And so I celebrate those who come, those who farm, those who cherish land. Land ownership is where it is. And so we must move forward and cherish our land and keep our land and our family. That's what generational wealth is about. So please keep the land and come visit us at Green Intentions. We're every third Saturday of the month for the rest of the year. So please come support.
My point is, black farmers, they are also affected. Yes, don't think that they are unaffected by labor shortage. They are affected. But rather because of their historical context and current operating realities, man, it might lead to a different experience. Because, man, they've been experiencing this. They've been discriminated for a long time ago. First of all, the black farmers, they do, like, I'm not saying majority or many of them, but some, they do like small scale and family community like labor. Because due to historical discrimination and systematic barrier, many black farmers operate on a small scale and rely more heavily on family labor, community networks, and less on large number of hired, often migrants, workers. This doesn't mean that they don't hire labor, but their reliance on the same scale external labor may less be pronounced. So it means they might do their majority of the work. And they are used to. For them, it's not a new thing. They are used to. They are okay with it. So that's why they might not be affected, or they might be less panicked. Because a small family garden doesn't need many outside workers. If a few family members are busy, others can't step in, or the workload can be adjusted. They aren't relying on a big external workforce. That's what I believe. Actually, these are my points. So you may tell me your points why black farmers, they are silent or less panicked in this situation of the farmers that losing workers. So black farmers have a long history of resilience in the face of adversity, including systematic discrimination, land loss, and lack of access to resources. They have often had to be more resourceful and adaptable in the farming practices, including labor management. They might already employ strategies and to deal with limited labor, such as diversification, growing a wider variety of crops, some of which may be less labor intensive or have different harvest windows. Community support. A strong community ties means they might be able to draw on local support or shared labor more readily. So they work in community, they help each other, they support each other, So direct to consumer models. That's another way they may use. Because many black farmers engage in direct to consumer sales. For example, farmers markets, okay? CSAs. So which can offer better profit margin and sometimes allow for more flexibility in labor needs compared to selling large distributors. Simple. So people who have always faced tough challenges often develop ways to cope and adapt. If you've always had to find creative ways to get things done with limited resources, a new shortage might not feel as devastating as it would do someone who has always had an abundance of resources. So what I can say is that historically, black farmers have faced exclusion from many mainstream agricultural programs, labor pools. This might mean they've never relied on the same existence migrant labor networks as larger commercial firms. They have developed their own more localized labor solutions. If you've never had access to big pool of workers, you've really learned to manage without it. So if that big pool shrinks, it doesn't change your situation much. So that's why black farmers might not be affected by the situation right now. These black farmers are involved in a sustainable organic, cultural specific agriculture for targeting niche market or local food system. This operation may have different labor requirements and stronger connection to their consumer base, allowing more flexibility and adjustment. So silence for the black farmers may not mean lack of concern, but rather different form of response. Black farmers have historically had to navigate a system that often did not serve their interest. Their strategies might be less about public panic and more about quiet resilience advocacy through specific black farmers organization, internal community solution. They may also be wary of engaging in public discourse that might be politicized or misrepresent their struggles. When you've been ignored or disadvantaged for a long time, yelling louder might not be your first strategy. You might focus on internal solution or work with trusted groups to address the problems. That's what the black farmers are doing. So it means black farmers, they're minding their own businesses. They may face that shortage of labors, but they're used to, and they have different strategies. All right, folks, tell me what do you think about this topic? I know it's a very big topic, but these are my points that I prepared. I would love to hear your points in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation down there. I am your presenter, Fikazo. Thank you so much for watching. Let's meet in the next one.